Hey, I'm Jacqui Childs, and this is my friend Janelle Estaa, and we're about to get highly intimate. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thanks. So, do you remember when we met?
Yes.
Where did we meet?
On Toronto Talk Sports and more. You're actually my guest, so it's like kind of weird being the interviewee compared to interviewing you.
Because I was there to be
Yes,
interviewed
you're our guest. You're our featured guest.
And I really enjoyed my time there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there was other hosts and there was
Yes.
other guests and everyone there as well. But I really, really liked chatting
Yes.
with you. And then I sort of lurked you a little bit. I was like, this chick is a hustler, man. This is like, so tell everybody
Yes.
what you do.
Well, I'm a model / actress / talk show host / I'm a producer now. So
Producing?
I got on board for Toronto Talk Sports as an associate producer, and I also executive produce my own show, which it's kind of like a YouTube type thing, called She Said He Said Talk Show. So it's kind of like whatever experiences we went through, basically more relationships and life.
Okay.
I'm like,
Who are
you know
your
what?
co-hosts?
It's actually my friends.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It was funny because I pitched this idea. This was back in like 2 years ago in October, and my friend was like, Janelle, just do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to start this and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden he just showed up at my place with like his lights and camera. I'm like,
We're doing
this. Okay, let's go.
Kind of like today.
Exactly. I love it now. We're on our actually season 2.
Good for you.
Yeah, so we've just been filming, banging it out and see where it goes. Like that's what you got to do. Just do it and see what happens.
And why? Why do you do this? Why are you so...
Well, because I feel like I've been in so many like, I would say like toxic relationships in a way. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just like tell everyone our experience and see what we did. It's also my co-host too. So it's like I have a guy co-host plus my best friend, one of my best friends. So it's kind of like, okay, we've been through a lot. Let's kind of talk about it and see if people can relate. Like we're not trying to give advice or anything. It's just...
Is it serious or is it comical? Like
both. You can say both. Like I also have guests as well. I would say influencers in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps a lot who really want to be on the show. So it kind of makes it a little twist. So it's not like very formal and it's not very like serious. But there's some episodes where we do go deep, where it's like a funny. Sometimes we'll have an episode where we're just playing a game.
Oh,
you know?
So it's just fun.
Yeah, just switch it
but
up.
You,
yeah.
Premise of it is like you're sharing the stuff you've sort of been
exactly.
through.
So like different topics. Like we've recently filmed. Like our first episode was like a comical one, which was dreadful DMs. So like the stuff.
Oh God, jeez! I could, if you're ever looking for someone with some dreadful DMs.
So that was like our first episode, or even just like something about like cheating. Recent one was like something about grooming, or like your preference on grooming, like during intercourse and whatnot.
Grooming during intercourse?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
no, not groom each other.
During intercourse.
I mean, like, what
wait, when am I? I'm pretty old. I
mean, your preference. There's nothing kinky.
Okay.
I mean,
it's nothing kinky.
No.
You mean they're not shaving each other while you're here, let me just get your
like,
back.
that's new.
I don't know, Janelle. You tell me.
Let me get your back. Imagine.
You're the one doing all this cool stuff.
No, not even. I'm old. I'm very old school. So like this is it was just like a random topic. It was just hilarious. And then what was I'm thinking of like another episode that we filmed. And also just like best friend advice. Like what advice have you given your best friend, other friends, and stuff like that? Just like different dynamics. And
what about advice you give yourself? That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
In researching this highly intimate, I watched a lot of podcasts and read a lot of books and watched a lot of videos about. We give great advice. We post things. We have our YouTube channels. We're all on social media, giving everyone all this great advice. And you know, like I would do this, and you should do this. What about for yourself? What's your?
I find
like, what do you need to give yourself?
Well, first was like kind of self-care and like pausing, because I'm always on the go. I know like you're doing.
Well,
the same
look at
thing.
how we talk. We're like, great to see you.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that's what I kind of taught myself for. It was a little bit of last year and the beginning of this year. I'm like, you know what? I need to just take a pause and kind of like look back and see where I'm actually going. Like, I'm not getting any.
And how far you've come, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I've only been doing like all the modeling and acting stuff for maybe 2-3 years.
And you've been really busy. And tons of music videos and tons of
that's been recently.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're kind of like
And
we've been doing the same thing.
do you work out? Like, is gym part of self-care, or
yes,
or is it just for the gram? You're like, let me run in that gym.
I need to get back into it because now I'm just getting like a lot of bookings. I'm like, okay, I gotta like get back. This summer killed me. Last summer just killed me. I don't know what it was. I think it was just like the great weather and just being outside and like, and I love like beer in the summer.
A nice cold beer.
Good, right?
That's part of self-care. Like,
yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like focus on the alcohol, but self-care and self-love is something like, even like, I like really not fatty foods, but lasagnas and pizzas and stuff.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's wholesome and comfort food, which is also self-care, right? When you're, not if you're having it every day all day.
It makes
exactly.
You happy.
I feel good. The smell, the scent reminds me of, home or whatever this. So same for you when you travel a lot and you're really busy, and you're a mom.
Yes, I am.
So see, like also that, like you have, like you need things to take care of you. To pause and to calm and to, like, so what would be your perfect afternoon? Like,
oh my gosh, doing nothing.
Like doing nothing.
I'd rather just
TV, or is it literally doing nothing?
Like I'll just be at home and just. Like, I would just want to watch Netflix. Like, right now, I'm hooked on, like, Grey's Anatomy. I binged for, like, almost 2 months, and I'm, like, on season 15.
We just watched The Pharmacist on...
What's that?
Ooh, so sad. It's on Netflix,
no.
and it's about the opioid crisis, and the guy was a pharmacist. He lost his son, and he's from New Orleans, and he's determined to, like, change the world. This one man thinks he can, like, help with the opioid crisis.
Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Okay. It's brand new. It's like 3 or 4 hours long. It's in little, like, it's a series, like a four or five.
Okay.
It's really good. Like, you can't, like, I was half asleep going, I have to find out, is he saving the world or what? And then I Googled everyone that's in it and everything. I'm like, and there's a pharmacist that's overprescribing, and I wanted to find it all about her. Is this based on a true story? It's a very true story, and it's very, like, it started in 2000 to now, and it's really good. It's
okay.
So when you're done Grey's Anatomy with Dr. McDreamy, is that what it is?
Well,
yeah. I don't
where
think
I'm at, he's kind of gone.
Oh,
all the people are like watching it.
I didn't think he was dreamy. Did you? Is he dreamy?
Not really.
Oh no,
not really my type.
I don't think. What is your type?
But I get it.
What's your type?
I don't know. I'm not like really picky, but my past, like my last 2 exes were black but American. They weren't even like Canadian. I don't know what it is like.
And where did you meet them? In your DMs?
Actually, the second one, when he's actually from LA. He slid into my DMs, and then my first one I actually met out here in Toronto. Okay. So he had a contract out here, and then we met.
He had a contract.
Yes.
So was he?
Yeah, so he was a CFL football player.
Okay.
We were together for almost like 3.5 years, and then his contract ended, and we tried the whole long distance. It was kind of like on and off for like 3.5 years. Very toxic, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. Very toxic?
Very toxic.
So then, did you go to the gym then? Was that part of
after
self-care?
After we broke up, I'm like, boom.
Then I'm like, the revenge body or whatever?
Yeah.
Does he still follow your journey? Is he still seeing you all over?
Somewhat. Like, I have him on Snapchat, and that's like about it. Not really anywhere else.
I just deleted Snapchat because I was pretty much using it
I
as
honestly,
revenge.
I only use it for like just to promote my stuff. Like, I don't even do anything on there.
No,
and like a random filter. I'll be like, oh, this is cute.
And then well, I do that too. Those bunny, but I'm 46, so my son
doesn't look 46.
It's great.
I know when I interview you, I'm like,
3 days.
What? You're lying to me.
I got rid of the Snapchat.
Yeah.
I was just. Bunny ears and stuff was too much for me. I was like, okay, I think I've aged out. It was fun to alert people and stuff, and to promote things. It was, that's another. You got to use social media. I mean, it's free.
Yes.
How do you advertise all these things you're doing?
Exactly.
Social media.
Might as well just take advantage. Yeah. So I don't like right now. Instagram is kind of probably my biggest platform that I use.
Are you dating someone right now?
No, I'm single. She
yells it right to the no, I'm single.
I like long walks on the beach.
Okay, that's actually funny. So if you made a Tinder profile, what would you?
Oh, PSA: if you see me on Tinder, that's not me.
Oh,
it's not me.
Are you using your pictures?
I know. Someone messaged me. They're like, Janelle, are you on Tinder? I'm like, no. That's scary. But I'm like, I guess I must be
somebody took your pictures up. Somebody took your pictures
yes,
for sure,
that happened to me on I think it was like Facebook and then WhatsApp. So someone put my profile on WhatsApp too.
And so they're message people as you.
Yeah.
I've heard from a couple people about Plenty of Fish, people that I have a Plenty of Fish account or whatever. I'm like, no, I don't. I've been married 10 years. I'm like, no. They're like, well, your pictures are all over there. I'm like, it's not me, so it's great.
You're being catfished.
Yeah, like,
Just
who's going to show up? It's
Yeah.
some guy showing up. So I want to go back to the toxic relationship.
Yes, yeah.
Is that, how do you... going through it and you're all in love, and even when it's shit and stuff's happening.
That's the tough part.
How do you
Love's a bitch.
Yeah. Like, how do you move on? How do you transition? What is your, like, going from one to finishing that? Do you heal? Do you have time for your pause for yourself?
So I've been single for a year now. When I, like, kind of finally broke up with him, like, last year, January, it took me at least, like, 3 months to kind of keep to myself and kind of go through my emotions and let things go. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, you have to let everything out. You can't hold shit in.
Because then you just take it to the next relationship.
Exactly.
And to the next stage of your, you know, and work gets the rough ed part of it. Your child gets the part of it.
It keeps you busy, which is good. I think that's why I keep, like, I'm always, like, on the go just to keep my sanity. Like, to stay busy.
I like to stay busy. Yeah. I bore really easy.
Yeah.
So I like to, I mean, part of everyone's like, you're so busy, you're so busy. That is part of my self-care.
Yeah.
Keeping busy. I mean, service to others. I feel like when I'm chatting and we're doing things that I can share, spread kindness and share something, that's selfish reasons, really. To take care of me, I have to do that.
Yeah. You kind of have to, like, think of, like, the positive outcomes and stuff. Even when I broke up with him, it was funny because, like, all my friends and stuff, like, yo, you're glowing. I'm like, oh, thanks. I was like, whoa.
I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, it's not that match. No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so, like, it was weird because, like, my hair was, like, going back thicker and, like, just, I guess, my skin, my energy was just different. It was just, like, a different switch. But I felt like a lot of pressure or, like, stuff off my shoulders just came off. Like, it was so odd. That even happened on my first relationship with my daughter's dad. Mm-hmm. So that was like, I was with him for almost 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was like 16.
Oh,
so that was,
and
like,
is he in Toronto still?
Yeah.
Oh,
like right now we're very civil.
Civil.
Yeah, we're civil because we have a daughter.
Right.
So we co-parent very, very well, but seeing him as like a future as a future husband and going on for like another few years and still in that girlfriend boyfriend thing, I'm like, no, I don't have time.
It's all so also someone like you that's busy and focused and driven.
Yeah,
you're not gonna stay.
I can't be stagnant for sure.
That's the word I was gonna like.
Yeah,
and it won't long. It's not gonna last long.
And that's the thing. Like I'm like the type. I'm like, okay, I'll see if like, will you grow with me? Will you like be moving forward? Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, your hopes and dreams and goals. Like,
that's the worst. And that's what I found was hope in a relationship. I'm like, oh, you can't like base your relationship on like hoping he's gonna do better, hoping he'll do this, because at that point he should already be there,
right?
You know, but he just wasn't, and he had a lot of issues too. Like, he was an alcoholic as well. So it's like trying to deal with that and trying to help him get through it. Like, the thing is with being with someone who's alcoholic is like you go through that kind of cycle. Right. So
and guilt and shame, and you feel like you're supposed to nurture and help, and it's your fault.
I think that's what
and
kind
you
of
have a daughter.
Me. Yeah.
Like, it's
and that's why I want to show her. I'm like, this is not how a healthy relationship is. I could never be stuck in that relationship and be showing my daughter like this is okay. It's not okay.
No, and like that's, I mean, I say they're buzzwords, but right now, like what we're mimicking or how I've transitioned through life. I've had a rocky life, as a lot of us have, and our children are watching. Our children are watching who we are and who we're becoming and what we're doing.
And they know. They're not stupid. They know. Even when I like finally like got up and left him, it took me at least, I was checked out of the relationship probably at the 1 year towards the end. Yeah, so just actually physically getting up and leaving, that was the hard part.
It's guilt and shame that keeps us there.
Yes.
It is. Everyone's like, oh, it's the money, or we didn't know how to spread it. I think it's guilt and shame that keep women there, especially when you have a child. Mm-hmm. It's that pulling at your, even though you know what's right and what, you just...
and that was funny because when I did like get up and leave, she was like, she knew that was probably the best move I have ever made. Like I think she was like 9 at that time, and she helped me pack my bags.
Oh my goodness.
My heart was like, okay, like I know I'm doing the right thing. Like I didn't know what to do, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just get up and leave, get my stuff, bring my daughter.
It's scary.
And I just went to my parents' house. I'm like, you know what? That's it. And
Thank
he
God
knew
you
too.
have
Like
that.
we were civil, yeah. So he knew. He's like, you know what? I know it's gonna happen. It's just like, when is it gonna happen? When is she gonna leave me?
So he was just waiting too?
Yeah. So like he tried to be like, okay, what can I do in order to make? I'm like, you know what? It's too late. Like I've been checked out for like a year.
And
it's
and
like,
you're just
we've
noticing.
been working. Yeah. It's like we've been working at it, and it's like working. Like even offered to go to like AA with him and kind of help him. It's just that whole. That's
Isn't there like the AA that's like for family, like it's almost like enabled for the people that enable the situation.
Yeah.
Like there's Al-Anon or whatever. Like it's it's not for AA. It's like the partners of.
Oh, okay,
right.
Okay.
So it's
yeah,
to
I
help
know,
you.
I heard of it.
It's because I'm from my family. My father was an alcoholic, and it's really tough. And I know when my mom finally left, it was scary, but she was filled with guilt and shame, and
Exactly.
and now I worry as a mom with children, and I enjoy drinking. I enjoy a lot of excessive everything, and I worry, did I pass that down to my children? And what did I, what am I role modeling? What are my, because they mimic us and they learn from us. So. And
that's the tough part.
And so you're very provocative and sexy. That's another thing that's out there. How do you, what message do you think? She's she's watching my mom be powerful and strong. And do you think it's a negative? Because I mean, I don't. So
well, the thing is, like, I'm very picky of like what I shoot. Like, I won't do like the full nude unless it's like a nude like art.
Right.
So I try to keep it tasteful but classy.
Sure.
Like
I've seen all this stuff is beautiful.
Yeah, you won't see me like doing the ass shots. Like that part is easy. Try taking photos with your clothes on and like
Actually,
getting paid.
Keeping your clothes on is a tough gig, man.
And like close ups. Like, oh my god.
And you're new to it too, right?
Yeah,
like I've been doing it for a long time. It takes a while to develop to actually grow within it and stuff.
And you're kind of looking like where your brand is, like where your path of like which way you want to go take your photos. I'm very like commercial type model. Like I still want to, like, I've done TV, I've done commercials, and that's kind of the route I want to go. But I could also do the boudoir and the artsy stuff. But I don't know. Like,
what makes you most proud when you're doing? What makes you most proud when you're doing that? Which one do you like? Like, I look back at stuff that I thought I'd be embarrassed of, or that I would be shameful and would never see the light of day. And now that I'm older, like I always say, I'm in my second act. I'm proud of a lot of things. Like, I'm really surprised at what makes me proud. I'll look back at something and go, wow, I looked like that, or I had the balls to do that. Stuff that I might have been a little embarrassed before, but now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a grandma someday. This is awesome. Look at me.
Exactly.
So you never know how, as your phases of life go, how you're gonna look back at certain things. So, like, what stands out most? Like, the music videos, or what stands out most that you're proud of?
Well, just actually being televised. Like, that was, like, a huge thing. I was on this, like, house hunting show called Top $1 Million Agent, and I played, like, the pretend wife.
Oh, is it acting? Is $1 Million Agent? That's actors? Oh, I'm so...
I was at the audition. I'm like, this is fake.
Really?
I was so mad.
So you had to pretend you were somebody's wife? I thought those were real couples.
I thought too. I told my best friends, they're like, Janelle, you just broke my heart. I was like, I'm sorry.
Really? Those are real?
I don't know if all the episodes are like, are auditioned.
Staged or whatever,
exactly.
Right? Who was your husband?
Almost some random like guy.
Some really old dude because you're hot.
No.
Some little old.
I was actually the rich part. Yeah, my dad was rich.
Oh, there you go.
So they gave us this whole script. I was like, yeah, that was hilarious. Because I did not know. I know some shows were, but I didn't know a lot of the Canadian ones were.
And
I thought
at least it was a good experience.
Yeah, that was a 2-day shoot. We got to see multi-million-dollar homes. 2 of them were in Brampton, and one was in downtown, like, Toronto area.
Were they beautiful?
They were gorgeous. I was like, oh,
were
goals.
You taking secret see, there. He says goals, and I throw my wine everywhere. Yeah, me too. Get that house, Janelle.
Oh, one day.
Yeah, why not? You're a hardcore hustler.
I'm trying. I'm really trying, and it's funny because like. I'm like, can I still keep doing this? Like right now, I'll be 35 in June this year, so it's just like am I really doing this like at 30? And it's funny when I go to these shoots, you have like these 19 and 20-year-olds like, oh my God, I feel so old.
So, okay, I'm just going to jump in there
Yeah.
because I just recently posted a picture and there's a lineup of girls that I'm working with and they're all in their early 20s and I was 40. It was it was like my 40th birthday.
Yeah, I think we talked about
and
this
then,
before.
like that's my peer group. So you sort of, I was like, what? So that's all well and good and it's all, but you're going to be 35.
Yes.
And we're not always going to look the way we are at 35.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want to develop other things as far as writing and reading, producing.
Yeah.
You want to bring, like, to be the full...
behind the scenes stuff, too.
Yeah.
Like
that's actually really fun.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I'm controlling them a little bit, as
Yeah.
everyone here knows. I like a little control and a
Yeah.
little, like, so as... you're not always going to be the hottest thing in the room.
Yeah.
So I like to develop other things like you're saying, like producing and writing.
Yes.
And, you know, like, does that excite you? Is that what's keeping, like...
I love that. Just
Because you told me when you said I'm producing now, you were
Yeah.
you go, I'm producing now.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm like thinking, who would like believe in me to produce stuff and put things together? But I'm just like, I just have that drive and I'm very like creative with things. So
you just self-doubted right there
Yeah,
on
I
camera.
know.
You're like, who would believe in me? I believe in you. I invited you to Highly Intimate. What, man?
First episode, oh my God.
This is how I'm getting that house, Janelle. I believe in you. For real.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you believe in you.
Yes.
And the sky is the limit. What does the next chapter of Janelle's life look like?
No.
So we've done the sports guy, we got the
Yeah.
cute kid, we've married to the jerk, we got the whatever. Where are we
Like,
now?
I feel like I've done everything.
What's next?
I still want to keep doing the commercials and TV. Like, my goal is just to be like on a TV show and just be on like something.
Right.
I don't know. Like just that.
Like a sitcom or something, a drama,
Yeah,
something
just like
serious?
that hardcore written down contract, like 6 months, something of me like on set. Like that's like my dream. So we'll see. I'm giving also like
I think
myself-
it's your goal, not a dream. Because look, I'm really
oh, true.
look,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
like look
yeah.
what you're doing. So
Yeah.
it's not a dream.
Yeah.
You're
Also-
wide awake.
Yeah.
and doing all
Yeah.
of this.
And that's the thing that I learned too, is like you just have to keep pushing out content. And it was funny because one of my friends told me, he's like, honestly, it doesn't matter like the number of people who follow you, who watch your stuff. It just matters for that one person.
That's exactly
Yeah,
it.
you
It
never
takes
know
that
who's watching.
one
You just
person.
never know. So that's why I'm like, okay, we'll keep doing it, and this is where I am right now.
So
Oh,
that
I'm
you
sitting with Jacqui
You're
Childs.
sitting with Jacqui Childs on Highly Intimate. And
Yeah.
that's for real. That friend that gave you that advice and
Yeah,
said
it's
that's
crazy.
exactly it. It just takes that one person
just
to
never know.
see.
Mhm.
Or I mean, I enjoy your co-host, and that
Yeah.
show that I met you on was lovely and fun, and
Yeah.
it was very interesting. But you
glad.
stood out, and we did like the rapid fire questions or
yeah.
whatever. And I was like, Kate, she can handle this all on her own. She doesn't need anyone stepping on her toes. No offense to the toe steppers,
Yeah.
but you could do this. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember driving home talking to my husband, like,
Yeah.
she's gonna be someone. So she didn't
Aw,
like
you're so sweet.
there was a lot of producing, there was a lot of editing, there
Yeah.
was a lot of let's do this, like
Yeah.
there was a very
Even that time,
controlled show.
I was still hosting. Like I wasn't on board as a producer yet. It was
You
just
were
only
like
recently.
a co-host. or
Yes,
something?
exactly. First, it was funny because with Toronto Talk Sports, he wanted to just to be on as like, as a guest, to be interviewed. And then after a conversation with him, he's like, I want you to actually be on a segment and just kind of.
Oh, it was
host in a way.
really good.
Really quick, right? And then after, I think it was like a month after, he's like, okay, I'm gonna have you just anchor the whole like and more section. I was like, okay.
Because you're the and more. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and you.
It's
defi-
non-sports related,
You
if no one
definitely
knows,
bring more
Mhm.
like to this Toronto. Like our whole drive home, we were stuck in freaking traffic, and I just felt like that was a wicked show.
Yeah.
But very produced. She could fly, like she could run with that if there
Yeah.
wasn't anyone stepping on her wings
Yeah.
or giving her what to say or whatever. Just let her do it.
And it's a learning curve too, right? So
For
it's just
sure.
like,
And you had the
Mm-hmm.
what was he? The basketball, the big guy, the basketball, like I keep saying the mayor of basketball. Who was the big guy that was on the show as well? He owns
oh, NBL?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a commissioner of NBL.
the commissioner of the
Of the
basketball
National
league.
League,
That's
yeah.
who was on with me.
Yes.
So then I was kind of nervous because he was with his son,
Yeah.
and they were all like, I think his son took like a selfie with me or whatever, and they're
Aw.
all talking about
Yeah.
professional sports and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm here to talk about sex and weed. I'm just here. And then I remember like listening to everyone, and I was like, I'm just gonna talk about weed and sex, and your son is like right next to, and he's like 12 or something, or 13. I think he was a big
totally
kid.
forgot he was on.
Yes, it was the commissioner of the basketball league. That's right. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. He now follows me. Hey, not the son, the dad.
Imagine.
Son probably does too. Well, it's been 2 years now, actually, since, isn't it?
Has it been?
I think it's been 2 years. It was in 18. It was in 2018 or 2019. No, it wasn't in 2019.
Are you sure?
It was winter.
Maybe. It was probably end of 2018.
It was end of 2018.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, and there was also some rapper girl, some hip hop artist on as well. Oh my God. Some chick.
We record weekly, but I met so many people.
I was fangirling on her though, and I said to him, I was like, "Whoa, she's a big deal. Wake up, take a picture of her." He's taking pictures of me. I'm like, take a picture of her. What the hell am I? So, and then afterwards talking about it, I was like, this girl's great. So I started lurking you and following you. A couple times we reached out, and like with all like supportive and you go girl.
And I love that like supportive stuff. Like I'm very big. Like I know there's like a lot of like Toronto models and people out here out in Toronto, but like I'll support you. I'll big you up. I'll shout you out. Like I have no issue doing that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, your glory and your whatever, it's got nothing to do with mine. Exactly. It's, right? Well, I can champion you and celebrate you. And that's awesome.
And everyone's has their own brand. So like I'm trying to push out something like that Janelle Estaa is, and then you're pushing out.
How do you
something
say it?
Janelle Estaa.
Fancy. Like, did you roll? Do you say it like another, like, is it rolly or anything? Like, you know, like Cubans or Spanish, they have that fancy. I'm just Jacqui Childs. Most people call me Julia. Do you know who that is? Julia Childs.
Oh yeah.
She's she's been dead 20 years, I think, but she's a chef from like the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
And almost everyone that meets me calls me Julia. And then I'm just like, just let them go with it.
Really?
I don't want to interrupt. I'm Julia. And then I'll send them a picture later. Can you just edit my name to Jacqui? And I'll send them a picture of Julia, who's like this, she's a little heavy lady with a real accent.
She's redheaded too, right?
Well, I've only seen her in black and white. That's all.
She's a redhead.
She was with a really strong accent.
Yeah.
So we're talking back and forth about Toronto Talk Sports, and like, is that your highlight? Is that what you're super like?
Right now, Toronto Talk Sports, we've grown into a media company. So Toronto Talk Sports is kind of under the umbrella of this media company, which is Circuit Bloom Media, and now we have like all these other things that are going to be happening. So
I saw you do something with N1 Sports.
Yeah, so N1 reached out to us to
Are they basketball shoes?
Yes.
Okay.
They're like a sportswear
brand,
like a
Nike.
Okay. Exactly. Nike.
Am I saying it wrong? Nike.
Nike.
Okay.
Nike.
Is it Porsche or Porsche?
I like Porsche.
Okay.
Is it Porsche?
I don't freaking know. I don't care. I like them.
Right?
Okay, go on.
So actually N1 reached out to us. They wanted us to do a little bit of the media coverage of their event of launching the TAC 2.0 shoe with Freddie Van Vliet of the Toronto Raptors. So that was very, very
cool.
That was like a big step because I saw the message. I'm like, is this happening right now?
You're like, is this real?
Yeah.
And I always read them a couple times to make sure they're English. I'm like, okay, it is real.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, those messages. I'm like, what? And the ones that tell you like, oh, I can help you increase your following, and they have like 12 followers.
Yeah,
like,
and then they say ignore. I'm like, what? And they say ignore the account I'm messaging you from. I'm like, really? You have 12 followers. How are you gonna grow my? And they're persistent. They're really, really persistent. They just keep for sure. They keep messaging and messaging.
Stuff. Yeah.
So was that super exciting?
Yes, that was like really, really.
Can that lead to more? Can that be?
Yeah. So I think we have a few featured projects with N1 when they're based out in New York. So every time they come to Toronto, they'll reach out to us, and we actually interviewed them too when they came here.
Cool.
So that will be coming out soon. Just a lot of stuff with Toronto Talk Sports. Not even just Toronto Talk Sports, just the media company in general. And I think there's also going to be a spin-off show, which is going to be an all-girls talk. So
fun! An all-girls sports talk or
no, just in general. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of like more of I'm giving you the inside scoop, but
I'm very good at keeping secrets.
I'll like
Just kidding.
hint at it.
It's the worst thing. I cannot keep
I know.
a secret.
I'm like, especially when you're excited about it.
Even
like,
around here, they're
passionate.
like, you can't tell anyone. Like,
Oh.
Do you mean anyone, or do you just mean like my social media? Like, how do you, like, can I give a little?
Yeah.
Okay, so give us some scoops. We won't tell anyone.
Well, we're kind of going in the, like, it's kind of similar to like The View and like The Social, kind of like that, but not as
Fun.
formal or whatnot. But I don't know. We'll see. We're kind of playing around.
Content.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
For
Not
sure.
even just with like Toronto Talk Sports or whatnot. It's like also with like my own brand, like
Yeah.
like on social media, which is really tough, especially nowadays. It's just I find social media so much harder now.
Do you feel like it's kind of a burden to post sometimes? You're
Oh
like,
my
is this
God.
real? Is this authentic? Am I
Yeah.
really like...
Yeah, and now with all the bans and stuff, like you can't do too much. So I don't know. I think I have a feeling like another platform is gonna come out. I just don't know what. Or
TikTok?
What they're gonna
I'm already banned from that.
do. Really? What did you do?
It wasn't even 24 hours. I posted something, me in a garden with cannabis, and then I posted a picture of me on the, there's the lift towards like a cannabis wiki.
Is it the cannabis thing? That's what they don't want?
Yeah, it's cannabis they don't want. So I wasn't
I didn't know
using it or
that.
anything. I wasn't smoking it. Wasn't doing anything. They didn't say buy my weed or anything. Like it's just and I was like on a red carpet at a cannabis event, and then I got a message immediately that I needed to follow the rules. So I thought I was following the rules by putting up another like a cute picture, but when I put the link to draw people back to here because it's called Cannabis Wiki,
Yeah.
I think the name cannabis is just.
Oh, it just got flagged.
I think just the name throws them for a loop.
Oh,
It
that's
just,
so,
yeah.
you
So then
see
I was.
so much
So now I'm banned.
worse things on like TikTok.
So I might start one for my dog, my active. He's not dead, right? I say that every time. He's just a baby. He takes long naps. Just like your Tinder account. Your long naps, long walks.
Oh
What do
my
you?
God.
Do you have one?
No, I don't have Tinder.
No,
Yeah,
I'm really jealous of like I want like
What?
I'm
Just
old
for
and married, but I would love to get on there and see who's doing what and just.
Because I know Drew manages your account. Do you imagine him? I can picture him managing your Tinder.
Oh God, yeah. So Drew is slowly like backed off of that a bit because
Yeah.
I told the story to someone the other day and they're like, "What?" He was responding to people as me for a long time. He was
Yeah.
doing all the because there's a
Yeah.
lot of messages.
Yeah.
But then he started like telling girls they're hot and stuff. I'm like, "You're answering as me, Drew." Like I just told that model in Toronto that I thought she was freaking wicked hot. I'm like, "What the hell? I would never say that." Like, he's like, "She really likes you. She wants to get together for lunch." I'm like, "No, she really likes you." You're ridiculous. So I've sort of
Yeah.
my messages on some of the platforms go directly to me, but then I have to have help because it just
Yeah,
gets overwhelming.
it does.
It's just, and how do you deal with being overwhelmed?
Oh my gosh. Well, now I have like so many accounts to manage.
Yeah, because each podcast and each
Yeah.
like YouTube
Yes.
channel, that's all different,
Yeah.
right?
So that keeps me really busy. Yeah, it's just really difficult. Like there's times where I have my daughter, I'm like, can you just like stuff? I'm like, no ass or boob pictures though, just like. There's times I just take it, like just like stuff. That's why I try to minimize like who I follow, so because I want to like everyone's things. Like,
Right.
I want to comment. I want to really see what they're doing. So it's just really tough when you're like in the industry and you meet so many people and you're like, oh my God, like what do I need to do?
Don't you find that you're starting to only know people by their handles? Like,
Oh
I
my
know no
goodness.
one's name. I know what you are, and oh, hello, cute puffy. What the hell's cute puffy? Like, I don't know your name. I only follow you
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's really tough.
smart
Yeah.
by using your real name. Like, using
Yeah.
is it
Yes.
your real name?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
it's my last name is my stage name. My actual last name is Estebillo.
And what nationality is that?
So
What is that?
my grandfather is from Spain.
Okay.
My mom is half Japanese, half Filipino.
Oh, cool.
So I have Japanese, Filipino, and Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah.
So shouldn't you have like a in it when you
Oh
say
my
it?
God, no, not really.
Don't Spanish people do that?
No. I don't have an R. Wait, no, yeah, I don't have an R. Well, my full name is
No roll?
Janelle Marie Diaz Estebillo.
Oh.
But then, just to keep it short, because I feel like Estebillo is so long, or everyone says Estebillo when I'm like
So just
white version.
How do you say it?
Estebillo.
Estebillo.
Yeah. So then I'm like, you know what? Let me just shorten it just to make things easier.
To make it easier.
Janelle Estaa.
Make it easier for your PR. Do you have PR?
No, I don't.
Me
I'm my
neither.
own PR.
Me too. I have a
own
thing
PR.
with PR. I don't know. I have lots of lovely friends that are doing it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cringy to me.
Well, because we're both more like
So controlling. Yes, that's the word, without like very controlling. PR is giving them the control to manage your brand. When your brand is you, like this is your product.
Yeah. If it gets to a point where I can't handle it no more, then I understand like
that you would need.
Yeah. Or I would at least have like a close friend or family member do it. But I don't know about reaching out to like an actual PR company. Have you done it before?
I tried a couple times and it's just not good because it's super controlling.
Like, I don't want to push this.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to go where you told me to go, even if it's a really good place. But if you tell me to go there, I have this like, I'll tell you. Oh, I'm telling everyone. Like, if you tell me to go somewhere, it's the last place I want to go. So you know what? Like, even if it's amazing,
when you feel like you're forced to.
Anybody that tells me, like, I have a hard time with like a boss or like rules or like I have a very hard time.
A lot of people are
so and it's I don't know, I keep saying, does it have to be a negative? It just means that I'm in control of my brand and who I am, and I'm not 12, and I'm, you know I will show up, I'll do what's needed or whatever. I think if we put it in someone else's hands, it's all negative to me. I don't know, I'm not. And it's such a big thing. Like, I'm following some girl, I won't say who. Yeah. She has 500 followers on one account. She doesn't have Facebook or anything else. And it says, right underneath, it says PR for promotions, for business, for whatever. Here's my PR. I'm like, bitch, why you got PR? Like, I'm not sure. Like, what else are you doing? Like, I don't know. Like, PR? Or do you mean like your pimp? Like, I'm not, like, what, you know, like, it's, maybe because I'm old, PR is still negative to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because you don't know what their kind of view.
Yeah, and do they send your stuff out and then like they take it for themselves? Like I also follow some PR people that are like, they're also promoting themselves, like a lot of self-promotion as well.
Childs, I manage this person.
But so they get to know so-and-so, or they get into the door to certain places, and then they're like, oh, I could do that. So I also think that too. I'm also a little like, think there's like shady dealings going on as well. I'm like, you're not doing shady shit in my name. I can do my own shady shit.
You never know.
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
I can do it myself.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we talked about children and life and work.
Yeah.
5 years. If I say 10 years, you're 35. You'll be like, what? 10 years?
Oh my God, I'm trying to retire.
5 years. 45. Is that me or you? Somebody like, we're in the middle of a conversation here.
We're busy.
What the heck? That is like the most unprofessional thing. I cannot believe Jacqui Childs had her phone on. Like, so, okay, 5 years. Yeah. What does life look like?
Oh, my goal.
Hopes and not dreams, your goals.
Yes, my goal is actually I want to move to the U.S.
You do?
Not really about like the modeling thing or acting thing or like the industry or whatnot. It's just to live out there. I'm tired of the winters over here. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Toronto. Right.
Is it the snow, or is it just you need the more access, a bigger pond?
Yes, I feel like there's so much more out there. Like
I watch all my friends move to LA and move to New York, and I'm like, oh God, I'm hauling ass to Brantford. Actually, and as soon as I walk in the door every time, I'm like, is there any chance we can pick this up somewhere hot?
That's what I keep telling myself. I'm like, you know what, Janelle, like, life is so short. Just do it. Just freaking do it.
Just do it. Yeah. Can you say just do it if you're working for N1? Because isn't that Nike?
There's no contract yet. No signed.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just waiting for like my daughter to like head off to college and then just kind of go from there. Like, I'm kind of preparing myself and see where it goes. But yeah, that's kind of my goal. Is to be move stateside. Somewhere. Yeah, either LA warm or LA, Vegas. I was thinking Florida, but when I went back to Vegas to visit my family, because all my aunts are out there, LA and Vegas, which is why I kind of are more directed towards those two cities. It's just something, I don't know. It's just
you're just drawn there because it's warm, or because of for work.
Because I feel like because my family's there's like
a support system is there, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, I think.
And would you take your daughter with you? Is that like, or let her
she
go
wants to
start her life?
She loves Toronto like a lot. Yeah? I would have moved a long time ago. She's like, no, I don't want to leave, and it's tough because like I wouldn't want to take her away from her dad because they have a really good relationship. So I just.
Did you have a really good relationship with your parents?
Yes. Yeah. Well, now there's when did they separate? They separated probably 12 years ago. But yeah, no, we're really, really close. it's tough because like we're always like on the go too. Like my mom travels a lot for work, and I'm like busy with my own thing, and then my dad, he works for the airline, so his shifts are like off and on or like different. Plus, when he is off, he's like travels too. I'm like, oh. So yeah, no, I'm really really close with them. We talked a lot. There's times, of course, like with any teenager's age, like me and my mom always bumped heads. Like we lived together while my condo was being built. I lived with my mom for almost 3 years. We butt heads so many times.
But all love?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At the end of the day, it's my mom.
Aw, that's nice that you have that support system. Yeah. And are they supportive of everything you're doing? Like,
yes. Yeah. In the beginning, they're like, what are you doing? They're like very traditional, like.
Traditional Filipino?
Yeah.
That's my sister-in-law's Filipino.
Yeah.
Woo! Jacqui needs to put some clothes on.
And there was a point where I'm like, I had to like block my mom. Like, stop watching my stuff.
My kids block me. Actually, my son will screenshot people he goes to school or works with and will be like, can you block so-and-so? So-and-so's liking all your pictures. Can you block this kid? Oh yeah.
I have either my daughters, I have a few of her friends, and their parents. So I'm like, okay, this is odd. But it's not like I'm trying to, there's nothing too provocative like on my feed that I feel like, oh, that I need to block them. But if they say something, then I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, feel good about it. Own it. You're gorgeous.
And then it is my page. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's your page. Yeah. You're building this on your own. Like you said, you've been without her father for this long, and you're doing this on your own. You don't have PR. Yeah. This is yours, right?
Yeah,
totally own it.
Yeah, but my mom's still blocked. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Just her like messaging me and like giving me all the like another headache. I'm like, no, I have so much stuff to deal with. I'm like, I can't deal with my mom.
I need to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I have to do it with my uncle too. I'm sorry, uncle. But I have to do it too. I'm like, I can't. I just feel like people who like I legit like family, I can't have
they
them,
can be
like,
removed from it. Well, we also have personal life and we have public life, right? So your public persona, Janelle, your public persona is provocative and sexy and serious hustler, very confident, and maybe your personal life is you're their daughter.
And I try not to post too much personal stuff either. I don't know if you're
No, I don't post. Yeah, like people are, you're married? I'm like, I mention it every so often, but it's not really part of my brand. Like it's not really, my private life is kind of.
Yeah, especially with my daughter who is a little older now. She's 14, so she has that access to social media and whatnot.
For sure.
So like I try not to post her a lot now compared to like before because I'm like, oh,
you don't do follow my daughter and her.
No.
See, lots of them, like the housewives and stuff, they all have their 14-15-year-old daughters now and they're tagging them and say make sure you follow, and I'm like,
no, I can't.
Like I know the messages I get, I can only imagine like the creepy stuff sliding into people's DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
like
want that.
I'll only post her like on special holidays and stuff like that, her birthday. But that's about it. If I were doing something random like on my story, but you won't see her like fully on my page. So that's why sometimes people forget. They're like, you do all this plus you're like a single mom. I'm like,
yeah. So you did a walkthrough in a condo on one of your videos. Is that your new condo? It was all like white and shiny and a big window, and there's like fancy kitchen, and it's on an Instagram video. You're like, it's my new home or my new, I don't know. It was gorgeous.
Probably my highlight.
Yeah. Yes. Is that your new condo?
Yes. So I purchased that like in 2016. Yeah. It's my first home.
Right?
No, that was in Mississauga.
Oh, okay. I'm like a country.
You're like anything out of Brantford.
Anything. Well, I live like 15 minutes from here, and anything from like my bubble is Toronto.
Yeah.
Or hell. It's wow. When you're like, my daughter loves Toronto or whatever. Yeah. Like going anywhere in Toronto to me is like, do we have to get a hotel? And when you're like, that was a long drive. I'm like, I would have got a hotel.
I didn't realize how far Brantford was.
Yeah,
it's not too bad.
And people come here. We're a destination.
Oh,
really? Wow, for Wiki.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, for buds.
Yeah, so that was actually a proud moment. That was one big highlight once that relief when you get out of a toxic relationship. So when I left my ex of 13 years, I'm like, oh my gosh, it hit me when I'm like 13 years with someone when I accomplished buying my own home a year later.
Beautiful.
A year later. It's crazy.
Good
it's
for you. Like, and that's empowering.
Yeah,
and that's,
it is.
So that little voice that gives you that little self-doubt every
Yeah.
so often. Look at how far you've come and look what you've done.
Yeah.
Like, you've done amazing things.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm really glad you came on our show.
Thanks,
And I'm
Jacqui.
really, I mean, you're an
Yeah.
inspiring, beautiful woman. For way more, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than our I think I'm pretty cute, so I'm gonna say it's more than
Super
our
cute.
it's more than our looks. Like,
Yeah.
there's a message and there's something to say, and you're a professional woman,
Yeah.
you're a businesswoman. And
It's also personality too. It's like that's why I'm able to do so much work. It's because I get referred. So it's like the people I do work with, they're like, no, you have to work with her because she's like awesome to work with and easygoing and humble.
because there's people that aren't in this industry.
Oh my goodness, like all
There's
those
some
stories I
gorgeous
hear.
girls that are just
Mhm.
asses. Like,
They're
I don't want
divas, huge
Yeah.
divas. I'm like, what? I'm like, I can't do that. That's not my personality. I could never. I'm like, I'm so down for everything. I'm like, I'm there to work. Like, you hired me to work. I'm gonna work for you. Let me like push your brand. Let me know what I need to do. I'm like that.
I'm
type of
super
person.
excited for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I mean, that's why I invite you on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this chick is kicking ass. Like,
I hope so.
for you are
Yeah.
so. When you said it only takes that one.
Yeah.
I think I have big following and I have great intuition and I read and feel things, and I mean, I'm watching. So just
Yeah.
imagine who's watching.
Oh.
So
Oh,
thank you so
that
much
makes
for
me
coming
so
on.
proud.
And thanks for having a few minutes
Oh, yes,
getting highly
of course.
intimate with me.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to
Thank you
Cannabis
for
Wiki.
inviting me.
And I'm
Yeah.
really excited to watch. And
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anything I can do ever,
Yes.
let us know.
Yeah.
And super exciting times. Cheers.
Cheers, babe.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I'm Jacqui Childs, and we were highly intimate with Janelle Estaa.